You're probably wondering, one small bucket of chicken, is that going to be enough to feed all of these alligators? It is definitely not. But because alligators are cold-blooded animals, alligators do not have to eat every single day like us, like mammals. Alligators can go long periods of time without food. When an alligator is full grown, if it needs to, they can shut their bodies down, slow down their metabolism, and go anywhere between 2 and 3 years without food. But not the alligators in this pond. These alligators are very well fed. Once a month, we dump in over 1,000 pounds of meat. We use beef, chicken, pork, fish, farm-raised rats, and 1,000 pounds of meat once a month. That is more than enough to feed all of the alligators in this pond. You also never want to be in the water with an alligator. If you're in the water with an alligator, the only thing the alligator might see is your little head above the water, and the alligator might mistake your tiny little head as a small bird, small duck, maybe even a small mammal. And the alligator will approach you in the water, more than likely attack you, take you under the water, drown you, and once under the water, the alligator will finally realize that it cannot swallow your full body. Alligators will never go after anything and try to eat it if the alligator can see how big it is. And if an alligator knows that it cannot swallow something whole, it's not going to go after it and try to eat it. Human beings are not on the menu for alligators. Alligators are not known man-eaters like some crocodiles, but yes, people have been attacked and killed by alligators here in Florida. And that's because being in the water with an alligator, your chances of getting attacked goes up a lot more. If you're not from Florida and you want to go for a swim, you might want to stick to the pools or the beaches. Leave the lakes and the canals to the alligators. Also, if you notice, the alligators are not chewing the pieces of chicken. Everything that the alligator eats, they swallow whole. The teeth of the alligator is mainly used for gripping down on their prey and crushing bones. Alligators have a blind spot directly in front of them, so they have a hard time seeing in front of them. They really can only see off to their sides, so I'm trying to get the pieces of chicken to land more towards the sides of the alligators' heads. One of the worst things that you can ever do to a wild alligator is what I'm doing right now, and that is feeding them. Alligators have a natural fear of man, but once you feed an alligator, they lose that fear. All it takes is one time. You feed an alligator out in the wild once. Now that alligator is going to start coming up to people looking for food all the time. It is also illegal to feed wild alligators, and when reported, Florida Fish and Wildlife authorities, they will remove those alligators from their habitat and even kill those alligators for your safety and the safety of the wild alligators here in Florida. Never feed a wild alligator. Alligators can also jump around 2/3 of their body size in and out of water. If you have an airboat coming up, just something to think about. What happens if an alligator jumps onto the airboat? If an alligator gets onto the airboat, the best thing to do is grab the person sitting next to you and throw them in front of you. When alligators are eating their food in the water, alligators cannot swallow their food under the water. They have to bring their heads out of the water in order to swallow what they're eating. If the alligator takes down too much water, the alligator can drown. So let's get a couple more pieces of chicken out into the pond.
Ooh, that one's hungry. Oh!
And the reason why they're running is because they see her over here. So yeah, they're still afraid of us. Even though they feed us and they get comfortable, they are still afraid of us. As long as we're not feeding them, they want nothing to do with us. Alright, let's get one more. Here's my last one, guys.
There it is.
And now my favorite part of the show, if there's anyone here that has any friends or family members that they do not like, I can help you get rid of them now. I want to thank you all for coming out. That does conclude my alligator feeding demonstration. If you enjoyed the show, please feel free to show your appreciation. Thank you all for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your time on the farm, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.